fam, who's into multi-millionaires fighting? Like Charlemagne is a multi-millionaire.
Mm-hmm.
Joe is a multi-millionaire.
Mm-hmm.
Charlemagne want to help black people. Joe want to help black people. Anything in between that is ego and emotion. And we don't need that. That ain't what we on right now. If niggas want to not fuck with each other, cool. But everybody using their platform to tear down other black niggas, it ain't really the time for all that. Charlemagne could do everything that he's doing and it not interfere with me. And I could do the same. That shit is corny. I just need to let niggas know that when there's a smear campaign going on and I find out the root of it, I'm going to respond accordingly. But other than that, that shit was whack. I'm not with that. I support whatever that nigga doing. Do that shit. And if niggas support me or not, the plan is the plan. I'm doing it. It don't matter.
Well, I seen you. The Joe Budden Network is a thing now, if it wasn't already. But I see you pretty much announcing a slate of shows or something like that, because I see you announce that there's a podcast with some women. I think Bridget Kelly's a part of the group. Let me ask you, and again, I want to remove whatever you got going on, because like we've had not only debates about hip hop, but debates about business and how we see shit, right? You've been through the music industry, you've seen the finesse, the screw up. You the first nigga who told me, act. When they tell you it's the good look, that's the finesse. And I was like, because we're getting mad opportunities thrown at us, right? So I'm listening to everything you're saying. Which, by the way, I still believe, which if no one ever knew, we were supposed to be on Wild and Out. Joe definitely turned that out. Joe definitely turned that bullshit. Yeah, we were, nigga. Yeah. Because I was just happy to be there. I was like, yo, let's do Wild and Out. Yo, everyday struggle, Wild and Out. Let's go. Joe was like, yo, why? Like, you start asking all type of questions. I'm like, this nigga, man.
Yeah, what do we listen? Right. That's how they get you, when you're just happy to be here, man. We don't have to be happy to be here. You built an empire, nigga. Fuck is you talking about? What we happy to be here about? We built this shit from the crib. No help, no funds, dolo. Us, alone, own it. Y'all calling me, nigga. And I fuck with Nick, so don't get this wrong. I fuck with Nick and Wildin' Out. But that's just where we at, man. It's a new day. If the creators don't do something now, then you're just going to be fucked in 2030 and 2040. Our kid's going to be fucked. My kid is 19 trying to rap. What I look like taking something because it's a good look, nigga? No.
Yeah. Hey, let me also, so I guess this is the business question I want to ask you, right? So when I'm listening to you and like, I listened to every rant you probably, did about some shit to have to do with that space and top level business shit. I listened to it like 30 times just because you need to absorb information from people who have access to be in those doors and actually have those conversations, and also be in a place to make those decisions. So I'm listening to you and I say this: if I'm going with what Joe is saying, which I agree with some, then some I'm like, huh? But I say, and this is where my background comes, I'm like, Joe, why are you not doing this shit independent? Like, why even do that rant? Why even do that rant at a company when in reality, you know how much you bring? You could do it independently. Because, I started thinking about myself. I'm like, nigga, I just did this shit myself then. Because
the rant wasn't for me. The rant wasn't for me. Yeah, the rant wasn't because Joe was angered about something. Yes, Joe could do it. Listen, Joe could do it himself. Joe could do it himself. Joe could do it independently. I know the route. I know the rules. I know how it goes. The rant was to tell, the only way that it's effective is if every creator after me knows what's going on. Like, Joe's not that important. Joe's not that important where I said, yo, Spotify is fucking up. Like, who gives a fuck? Joe said some shit. Get Joe the fuck out the building.
Wait. So it was not a negotiation tactic. Because a lot of people say, like, oh.
No. I've recorded every conversation between Spotify and myself. I have never asked for a dime. I didn't ask them to come back with something. I didn't ask them, hey, respect me. No, I did what you're supposed to do, which is, hey, I did the same thing I did with me and you at
Yeah.
Everyday Struggle. You know, during the taping of Everyday Struggle, Joe had a lot of issues.
Yeah.
The only time to really express that and receive an answer is when the contract is about to end.
Yeah.
So that's what happened. The contract was about to end. It was a bunch of shit that I wanted answers to. I asked. They didn't answer. I said, I got to go.
Because a lot of people.
I wouldn't want more money from the people that I'm saying don't understand. I wouldn't want more money. See that? Maybe some other black creators.
What it could be misconstrued is that when you keep saying they don't know, they don't understand the worth of what I've brought here.
Period.
And how you.
But wait. Period. That don't say, hey, offer me more money and I'm gonna stay. That says, oh shit, these people that you're working with, they just don't see. There's some white people that understand and see, and there's some white people that do not. All it meant was, all right, these white people don't get it. So if you want to go try to convince them, you can. But I'm not asking for a seat at a table I built. Know what? I'll go build another table. Hey, if Complex fire you tomorrow, that ain't the end of Akademiks. Akademiks is gonna go build another fucking table with Chief Keef Jr. or whoever the fuck you be talking to out there.
So, all right. So, and I guess me. I'm trying to understand. I'm telling you. You know, I'm such a student in the game. I listen to everything, and I hear different things every time I listen. So when I'm listening to you say that, the question that comes up is, why go help anybody build the shit? Why not just get the resources and build it yourself? Because when you build it, when you help build it for somebody else, they don't value you.
Do you remember the first 6 months of Everyday Struggle where Chop would say shit like, oh man, listen, anything y'all want, y'all could get with the numbers y'all are doing.
Yeah.
Oh man, listen, the boss is looking at the numbers, man. They never seen no shit like this, man. Anything y'all want to do, it can happen, man. Remember that?
Yeah.
That's what happens everywhere. When you build some shit in front of people that weren't able to build it, they're gonna be marveled by it. But once it's there, all right, we got that. So fuck y'all. The magic leaves. So that's what happened with Spotify. The first year, oh, I never seen no shit like this. Oh shit, this is crazy. Whatever you want. Vacation for 7 months, nigga. But once it's built, you can move the goalposts around. You can say, your numbers, they not really, nigga, no.
But okay, so that's why I fired back at you and I said, yo, I look at you and I said, I was there with you at Complex. Do you remember, and I'm citing specific examples, everybody had bonuses that worked there full time when the channel went from 1 million to 2 million subscribers, the fastest ever when we got there. 1 million to 2 million. Everybody got bonuses. Yeah, hooray. They got like plaques. Everybody has a sign in their office. And we looked at each other and said, we did this. Right? Now, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go, buddy.
I'm with you. There's value there. So now I'm looking at you after Complex to say, Joe, you know you finna build some shit, dog. Why don't you anticipate that you could be properly appreciated and properly valued if you built it or helped build it? Because again, if we knew that was going to be the case, I'm pretty sure in our contracts at Complex when we first got there is every 250,000 subscribers y'all get on this channel that we're the only show doing daily uploads on, we get to go we get these bumps in pay rates or these bonuses or fuck it, like it turns into these other things that could be, you know what I mean, maybe equitable, whatever the case is. Why did it happen at Spotify?
Well, let me start with, I come from the streets. I'm not street. I'm not gang. I'm not tough. I'm not none of those things. But I come from the streets. And when you come from the streets, you kind of just figure that people will do the right thing if you do the right thing, because there's this code of ethics. And if you don't do the right thing, a nigga will come blow your brains out.
Yeah.
So with Spotify, you know, I thought they would do. I thought that they would do the right thing, because they had been being robbed by record labels for so long that.
Hold on. By the way, Joe, you also thought, you know, you had the same thinking when we were contracted to do one episode. That's what the original contract was. One episode a week on Complex for 10 minutes, 10 or 15 minutes. We turned it into a 4 days a week, hour-long show, right? So I remember.
Wait, stop. Wait. So the normal person would think that if you set up a gold mine Monday through Thursday, that somebody would be happy to pay for the Friday, right?
No, of course, but hold on.
Were they happy to pay for the Friday?
No, but here's the thing. Hold on. This is what I'm saying. This is where, like, I'm looking at you.
No. Let me stop, because I got to explain to you.
Mm-hmm.
The same way they wasn't happy to pay for the Friday act, the same way they took our gold mine that we created and tried to get funny with that Spotify ad money. They got a 250 grand from Spotify and told me and you we get 10,000 extra dollars.
It was more than 250.
Whatever it was, they told me and you, the fucking kings of this shit, we get 10,000.
Which, by the way, Joe, which, hey, while you're going on your rants, right? This is one key thing. Information is key. The moment Joe knew how much Spotify gave Complex, there wasn't a decent, calm moment at Complex since that. Because it's cool. It's cool when you don't know what's actually coming in. But when you realize how much, like, pretty much niggas is brokering your talents, they're brokering, like, if you're not there, the money's different. The moment you found that shit out, that building was going up and down. It was like earthquake every day.
Hey, so now listen to this. You seeing me in action behind the scenes at Complex when shit went down. So for 2 years, I've been on an information hunt at Spotify, and then I found it. So what
did you?
Yes. So what you think happens when Joe finds out how much Joe is bringing in? It ain't peaceful time, nigga. You can take this 3, 4, 5 million and kick rocks.
Wait, hold up, though.
What?
No, but that's what was confusing me. I'm watching you say, you're like, yo, you didn't go to Tidal because Jay didn't want to give you information. Like, here's the thing with most companies, they only have leverage if you don't know. The leverage is gone if it's too transparent. So when I'm listening to you and you're saying
there's no such thing as a secret.
So when I'm listening to you, I'm like, yo, no way Spotify offered him all the analytics, all the this, all the that up front, because he would see the value of what is going on. And then if he compared it to the value of how the company's growing, and also especially what they're doing in the podcast space, he could probably estimate what the fucking value of him is, which doesn't lead to good negotiation because it's already like set in stone.
Well,
so they got to keep some shit from you.
But listen to this. You're absolutely right. They do have to keep some shit from you. But the part that a lot of the public misses when they pull the trick, like when they do the trick right before your very eyes, the part the public misses is a lot of these big time companies, academics, will change their whole business model right before your very eyes. Listen, a few years back, Spotify was all about the consumer experience. Spotify was all about making the consumer happy. Somehow it went from that to playlisting. Playlisting was the big bet, right? Yeah. And then it went from that to something else. When this switches, people switch. The goals switch. So the plan when Joe came in the building might have been one thing. But by month 6, when we see what Joe is doing, oh no, we got to go find 10 million more of these and let's go.
All right, let me ask you a question. Nostalgia question then.
Troy, when we in here, you are a bum and they do not want you in Japan.
Joe, hold on. Before you get no, because I like this type of talk.
Because you just say you miss me, nigga.
I do.
Just say you miss me.
No, I do. Listen, Joe, I'm telling you, man, you get rid of the two stooges, me and you do something great, man.
Yo, why do you keep coming at my guys, man? Get the fuck out of here.
Not, yo, Joe.
Hey, wait, hold on. Do you believe that Rory sent the goons to your house?
No, it's not good. Joe, I'm going to play I have my security camera recorded. I saw it with my own eyes.
I will fight Rory myself if Rory sent goons to your house. Shut up.
Hold on. Joe. Hold on. Since I'm here.
Shut up.
Wait, hold on. You know that guy's handwriting. You know he signed off on a lot of postal deliveries. You sent me a Hallmark card.
Let me see.
Look. Oh, here we go.
Let me see.
That's come on.
I don't know who the fuck a stooge is.
I call both of them stooges. Yo, Joe, listen. My whole thing is why I call them stooges. Joe, I'm gonna be honest with you. They're the Migos in terms of they ad-lib when you're giving content. Nigga, there was a point while you're going on your rants, you look at these bums and you say, nigga, talk. Like, fill it in. Like, you're carrying them on your back. You know what I mean?
That's like, not true. That is not
listen,
true.
Joe. And by the way, the only reason why I got at them is because I think the view that I come from and the view that I think you also share is that, like, you could criticize me on some shit 100%, whether I like it or not, it's Joe. Them, you know how you said that Andy Schultz, but it's Andrew Schultz. You said Andy Schultz was carried on the back of a black man, which is Charlemagne. You don't think you carried Rory? Come on.
No.
No one knew who he was.
Well, that's not fair because you talking about fame. You talking about fame.
Joe. Okay, let me call you hypocrisy. Andrew Schultz has about 80,000 people who subscribe to a Patreon to watch him do a podcast that Charlemagne is not on, which means he took the ball, even if Charlemagne gave him initial introduction, he took the ball and ran. Rory and the dude I call Mealy Mo, like, listen, they've done nothing. When I listen to the podcast, like, and usually because you're addressing a topic, they're ad-libbing you. They're not even B mics, not C's. They're like, you're the A mic, they're the F mic.
I disagree. I think there's a such thing in basketball as the isolation play. And sometimes you got to move out the
Joe,
way.
you know this. You know this.
That's not true. Sometimes you got to move out the way and let a nigga cook. Hey, Ash.
Yo, Joe, you're Kobe. You're Kobe, they're Luke Walton.
Listen, when me and you did our show, right? When we did our show, there were some days where you came in hot about some shit that I wasn't necessarily hot about, and I moved out the way.
No, listen. To me, I'm a realist. I always like to say, listen, if everyday struggle, which only lasted for 9 months for me and you, if people are saying this was so historic, blah blah, I give you the Jordan role. I give you the Jordan role. I take the pivot because you know what? You did more than me. You get me? I was getting my legs under myself, 100%. So I give you that.
But,
of course, at times,
but I got the best
did I do my thing? Yeah.
But I got the best pod, so you got to let niggas live.
No, because you're Kobe in it, man. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You're playing like Kobe doing a rape trial, man. Like, everything is going in. You're shooting from half court. Like, it's cool. That's what I'm saying.
It's a clear out because, listen, this is my serious answer to this. I know we're playing around right now, but my serious answer to this is Rory and Maul and Parks and Savon and my whole squad, they couldn't speak to the degree that Spotify was handling us. That was only Joe. There was nothing for them to say in that. Like, they didn't know. I tried. Wait, let me talk. I tried my best to shield my niggas from some of the offensive, insulting things that Spotify was doing. Like, so they wouldn't know all of this stuff. They was finding that stuff out in real time with y'all, because Joe was talking.
Wait, let me ask you a question. And you don't have to answer, by the way, too. Do they talk to Spotify or do they talk to you?
Well, when you say Spotify, you're talking about
So,
a
for
company
example,
with
with
a million
Complex,
different departments.
you talk to me and you used to, while you smoked your cigarette, waiting for your car, we used to basically run out the building because we thought they had cameras or some other shit. You're a little paranoid. And we'd be like, yo, this is what they're telling me, what they're telling you. But we're both speaking to Complex individually. I'm asking you because when I'm listening to you, it feels like you're the only one speaking to Spotify, which obviously is a different discussion.
Yeah, but remember, none of us really spoke to Spotify, if you want me to be honest with you. Like, we
You
was
and Ian speaking to Spotify. That's facts.
whoa. Only on the renegotiation time. And only when they was trying to pump something through. This is an independent outfit. So we went to work for 2 years on our own, the way we was doing.
You say you met, no, hold on. You say you met in the Mondrian with Carl Cherry and a couple other people. Like,
no, that was before the deal got done.
Yeah.
That was just Joe. Joe was going to take a mid-roll deal for advertising with the pod for $250,000. And I think that's when my Barstool deal had just got taken off the table. And Spotify called with a 7-figure offer.
That's why you're slandering my man Dave Portnoy. I heard it because I was thinking about
No. I like Dave. I don't like.
Nah, you've been getting at him.
Because I don't like white people that say nigger and are empowered to say nigger by their black employees. I don't like that. But Dave
is that current or some shit that was like?
It came out current.
Okay.
I didn't know that Dave Portnoy had ever said nigger. Dave and his homegirl, I forgot her name right now. They are geniuses. You got to deal with Dave.
Yeah,
he's a genius. He's not leaving. You got to deal with, I think her name is Erica. They are geniuses over there.
I felt something happen because you put me on, like I love business. When you tried to get me to do a podcast a couple years ago, which by the way, you definitely were right. I told you this before, right? But I didn't see the business shit happening then. And I was like, why? I was like, yo, I put in work in YouTube and other avenues until those became viable businesses. Why am I going to do it again in a space that maybe I don't need at the time? You were definitely ahead of your time in saying, no, it will be, trust the process, right?
I've been ahead of my time since 2001. I've been an accurate digital forecaster since 2001.
That's fair to say.
Yeah, no,
that's fair to say. Hold on. Wait, but that's my gripe with you, Joe. My gripe is like, because you're so ahead, everything tells me that after Spotify, you do not sign to a DSP or any other conglomerate. Maybe some shit just for ads, but you do it yourself. I was like, yo, man, Joe is like, you're talking that Kanye West shit, or Kanye's talking your shit, whatever the case is. And I'm like, yo, if Joe goes to Amazon, if he goes to Apple, and I don't know, even if they give him a bigger check, whatever the case is,
it would be a Joe Budden network merger.
Joe.
It would be a merger. See, that's the difference. You got to learn on your way. Whatever I did with Spotify, they gave me my millions of dollars, and that's what I needed at the time for capital to fund my ventures. But now that I got it. I walked away from Spotify and nothing about my lifestyle changed. Like the same way I told Charlemagne, you can't say Joe is a bad businessman when Joe is a multi-millionaire man times over on his own accord. Not with a company, not with signing my life away.
Yo,
think about that. Wait, hold up. You just heard bum-ass Troy Ave sit here and talk about being blackballed. You hear the Pain and 6ix9ine voice when he talk about being blackballed. Joe was blackballed.
No, you weren't.
You wasn't outside when I was blackballed.
No. Hold on, Joe. Okay. In certain corporate, all right, I'll give you that. Okay, because of your label situation, I get it. I just these days, I think beyond the label. I think, when you're talking about blackball, DSPs don't fuck with you. Radio programmers don't fuck because really labels are so fractured. You don't need a label if you have a real connect with the DSPs and radio. You feel me? Like, that's pretty much it. After that, you just need a budget to put up billboards.
Do you know how many times my name was typed into the internet last month?
You tell me. You probably know.
I do know, but guess.
3 million.
I'm gonna give you one more guess.
Am I too high? $1 million?
400 million times.
It was typed in.
400 million times.
What do you do with that information?
And that's just the thing. What does
Yo.
each person do with that information? Hold up for a second. I'm telling you a story about Joe, who was blackballed by an entire industry. Still, they abusive fuck. He's a dog fucker. All of this shit that's just not true. You know what these people see when they look it up? 400 million times. Like, the ship has sailed. Like, you can't cancel it. It's greater than you now. Like, I'm here to work. And I have data and metrics that show Joe works. Joe works. I don't want to hear nothing about this other shit. I'm out here. It's over. It's over now. Stop it.
All right. So again, nostalgia shit again. But I want you to speak to what you were going to use this information for. I remember. So we show up early. I mean, you do your thing. You go get your little sandwich, blah blah blah. Whatever. Meet up in the green room. Check this out. You say, could you find out the numbers of since we've been here, month over month, how the views for other shows have increased, how the subscriber, what did you do with that? I get it. What did you do with that?
That we can't say publicly. But what I could say is,
or how do you interpret that? How do you interpret, like, you know, how do you? So fine, you get the data.
Wait, the nigga in the comments said they was trying to say Joe Biden.
Hey.
The key is, listen, and this is the most important thing, because I don't want to ramble on. The key is, how do we get our information? What does the information say? And what do we do with it? There's too many creators that are taking a quick check, and they're leveraging their chance of getting the information. I've been broke my whole life. I've slept
look at
in
Tony in
parks.
the chat. Yo, Tony, delete that comment for a complex season.
I've been a bum. I've slept in parks. I've been a pill head. I've been a dust head. I've been an alcoholic. I've been all of these things. So for me, right, it ain't about no money right now. It's about who treats you the best. What terms are the best? Who's gonna give you the information? They all fighting for information. They selling our information. And we just out here creating shit. No.
Hey.
No.
Joe, all right, Joe, explain to me. All right, another thing I want you to explain. Again, my questions are a little bit different because it's also I'm using all the information that comes from people who I look at as being ahead of and a little bit in different places than I am. You, Charlemagne, to be specific, to also get me armed with information that when I get in that position, I act accordingly.
But you're in that position.
Okay, no, you're right. But that's what I'm saying. Let me ask you a question. When you went to Complex 3 years ago, and you told them about podcasts, and you had an idea of a network, they didn't. Yeah, whatever, cool. If they had offered you that,
but wait. But let me just cut you off. Not that they didn't get it yet, I offered them my podcast, a new podcast with me and you, the Everyday Struggle audio as a podcast, and one more podcast for $40,000 a month. And they said no. That's not, I don't get it. That's, I'm far away from getting it. So if you a creator and you in a building with niggas that's far away from getting it, you gotta go. That was the best show ever made. And me and you was awesome. But as long as Rich fucking Antonelli has something to do with this,
he's a good guy. Hold on, Joe.
Man, fuck Rich. No, he can be a good guy. No. He can be a good guy. He just didn't get it. That's all. There's nothing wrong. He just didn't understand.
Wait, hold on. But I know you lay all the blame at his feet, but you know, in a corporation, just like with Spotify, there's a lot of bureaucratic red tape you got to deal with. And you might just think, or for the regular listener, like, yo, hey, it's just one guy who's saying yes or no to anything Joe asked for. Or
No,
Joe suggests. Not the case. It's board meetings. Like, yo,
Yes.
it's a million different things.
It's 17 different departments. And guess what? It's somebody at the head of each one of them. Rich Antonelli sat at the head. So when it went up to 17 different departments, it ended with him. And Spotify, Dawn sits at the head. Thank you, my bro. I appreciate that, man. See, look, guy driving by recording me at home. You got the best podcast. I appreciate that. Listen, at Spotify, it was Dawn. It could go up 20 different departments, but it's going to live and die with Dawn. Dawn wasn't there when I got there. Dawn don't know nothing about a podcast. They just bring in big TV wig people so they could scale. Fuck that.
Hey,
and I don't talk too much here. I don't talk too much already on here.
Joe, regressing a little bit, because this is what I was going to ask you before you cut me off when I was asking. You remember when we started that Everyday Struggle, right? I remember it was the first time I ever walked in the complex. I don't know if you've been there before, maybe you have. But once we started, I believe the day after, maybe 2 days after, at least, I don't know if you were told, but they told me, because there was a whole section full of people and computers. They said, all of them got fired. And I said, why? And they said, listen, they're mostly print writers for websites, this and third. We're switching to video. Now, I didn't take that as much during that time. But it was clear that with us being at Complex and them acquiring just your talent and my talent and making the show, they clearly said, these people, maybe they were needed before, but now they're expendable. Be gone. Never really read into that, but now, just hindsight is 2020. I'm asking you, what did it say to you? Because, a lot of times when we were talking, I was a lot of times trying to figure out, like, I didn't get the mentality. You get me? And you were reading a lot of things from a perception level that you also, listen, we've had some, like, moments in there, but I remember you were like, use TV. They're taking our shit that we signed a deal to only be on YouTube, and they're upstreaming it to linear. They're putting it on TV. Big fucking problem. Another big fight in the whole building, uneasiness. Again,
Spotify made that same announcement, by the way, that we're taking all our original shows and we're making television shows and upstreaming them to TV. My fight is exactly the same as it was. Like, Complex is doing the same thing that Spotify did. Like, it's the same shit. When they fired all of those print writers, it told me that we was a hit, and we were so much of a hit that they're changing the entire business model of this company, like I told you 20 minutes ago. Hey, when I got to Spotify, you know what they said? Hey, this ain't a music platform anymore. Hey, this is a podcasting platform now. That's what it said. Hey, when I went, you don't know, but I went and had another meeting with Rich Antonelli and Cornell. We had one more sit down.
I heard about it, I think.
Just to try to see if we could do it, because it was the greatest show in the world, right? And people work with people that they don't get along with all the time. So we had one more sit down. And me and Ian said, Rich, just so we're clear, because we have a YouTube page and we know how much we're making from our YouTube page. How much are y'all making off the YouTube from Everyday Struggle? Like the Everyday Struggle uploads. How much are y'all making from that? And why aren't we privy to it? Wouldn't that be important in renegotiation time? You know what Rich said? Same thing all these companies said. Well, we're using that money to pay for a staff of over 400 people. Know what I said? 400 people don't work for Everyday Struggle. Hey, nigga, it's 10 of us that come in here in the morning. You think I give a fuck about 400 people? No. Oh, so you telling me that I'm now paying for your payroll of your entire company? You think John will be all right with that? No. We walked away from that table. Because it's like, fair, how much are you going to take? And that's creators' problem. We broke, and we ain't never had shit because of oppression. So we just taking whatever they throw our way. But this is the time for that to change. There's too many of us that built this from the ground up. All we got to do is tell these niggas no, suck our dick.
People just can't do it like how you do it. Joe, you're a little abrasive. Joe, yo, you know how ballsy it has to be. You're in an exclusive spot. Think about this, because I study all broadcasters. Listen, you know, like when they're firing a radio personality, right? They usually don't allow that person to go live, or they cut it anytime they feel that person's about to slander that company. You went on a tirade for at least 2 episodes, pretty much kind of exposing and saying things about that particular platform that was publishing and distributing your content that was probably not in their best and public interest. And I'm watching this shit, I'm like, yo, my whole thing to everybody is that will not work for you. Don't ever try this. Joe is doing some shit. If it works for him, cool. Let's see if it changes some shit, but it will not work for anybody else.
Well, Joe has a contract that says you can't edit my editorial.
But I guarantee that contract doesn't say they have to put it out. They could have listened to it before and say it's not coming out.
No, they can't do that. That's what the whole, because that is against your constitutional right and stepping on free speech. That's what they're trying to do with Joe Rogan right now. If you watch the news, every podcaster in Spotify is saying, edit him. He is saying hateful shit. We want him out of here. Spotify is like, fam, we just gave him $100 million. He is not leaving. Sorry.
No. Well, they also want certain episodes down, and that's not published on Spotify. So what I'm saying is that if say a Spotify exec hears you're talking crazy, at least to them, yo, this episode of Joe Budden's podcast will not be published. It just will not be.
Then I'll publish it elsewhere.
We have an exclusive deal. You cannot publish it elsewhere.
Sure I can.
In an exclusive deal, you can't.
Fam, at the end of that contract, I would have did whatever the fuck I wanted to do. I did it that way because I was a professional. Like, I would have put my YouTube vids out the same day. I could have wilded out at the end. I just got loud and boisterous. But I didn't wild out. I was very professional and ended it the right way.
Joe, let me ask you, because, you know, again, you're one of the people. I look at Charlamagne, like, you know, me and Charlamagne, we talk a lot. Like, he told me about his network a long time ago. Shit, you know, I'm about to bring a podcast to existence, and I had meetings with his network as well. So I look at, like, how you do things and how he does things, and then what comes up, especially when, you know, talking to people, is like, is Joe burning bridges?
Yes.
Do you feel you're burning bridges? Because play this. Like, here's the thing with Complex, right? Even if I was ever to leave there, I'm not going out in a ball of fire of like, yo, the CEO is racist, this person's that, which you kind of did, and it's hard for me to even see Complex doing any business at all, even if it's with a subsidiary of a company you create, because now they have to be conditioned to think, based on our dealings with Joe Budden, we don't want to be in business with anything he's involved with. So that's what I'm asking is, like, do you feel like you're burning bridges?
Yeah, I am burning bridges, man. I love arson. Yes, I'm burning bridges. But the thing about that is, Joe is a 9-figure outfit now. So if Joe says, I'm not doing business with you, it means...
Hold on, Joe.
Yeah.
You've said this 9-figure thing a couple times.
Facts.
I've tried to... I'm a math major. I'm trying to compute.
I can't tell you.
Fuck is you talking about? Stop.
I can't tell you.
Stop.
I can't tell you in public. Act. I can't tell you publicly because they'll kill me. They will come to my house and kill me if I tell you.
Joe, you think you're single-handedly responsible for 9 figures of income?
No. You think I would go on that rant and think? No, I don't think anything. I know.
But if that's the case, why wouldn't they acquiesce to whatever the fuck you asked for?
Because I wouldn't allow them to insert advertising in my back catalog and my new catalog. That's why. So it don't
Okay.
matter if I was responsible for, let's call it $200 million through subscriptions and whatever else, right? If Joe is not going to if the new model says, yo, every podcast that comes here now, we have to either own it or we have to be able to place ads wherever we want without your permission.
I do hear that is the new motto. And by the way,
It is. I'm still a nigga out here protecting consumer experience. No, I will not let you put ads all in my shit. Well, that tells them Joe ain't down to do business the way that they do business now. So it's over.
Yeah, hold on, but Joe, I would imagine that they would probably, just knowing how corporate people work, they would grandfather you into a deal that didn't require that.
Oh no. That's the problem.
They would force you into a new deal.
No, that's the issue. The issue is I had a grandfather contract, so they could not do certain things, and that was their beef. So if I wasn't going to let go of that contract that I designed, then for them it was either, all right, take this money. If you take this offer we giving you, we'll keep fucking with you.
Yeah.
Most people would have took it.
From what I hear, Spotify is not in the business currently of allowing anyone they're signing to exclusive deals to still own all their IP, still operate a certain type of way. And I would imagine that when they offered you a contract, they were not trying to own anything that they didn't already have.
Not true. They were trying to get everything they didn't have. And I said no.
And they did not budge.
No, they said, we're going to leave this offer here in case you change your mind. And I said, I ain't changing my mind. You can take it. Nah.
That's hard for me to understand. That's hard for me to like even fathom, just because of in everything. Like nigga, even with y'all remember when AT&T like stopped offering unlimited, but they were like, if you had unlimited before we made the new rule, we'll grandfather you in. Grandfathering into shit that like you can't do business with someone and then 2 years later, especially after they've helped you show like concept or help build something, you're like, hey, this is the new rules. It's hard for me to think that Joe, I'm not gonna lie. I see Andrew Schultz, you did mention it, even though you call him Andy.
Yo, you be naming
some
names.
People did tell me. I heard the 250 million thing too. I heard. I heard this is nothing about that. Joe asked for an exorbitant amount of money, and that money was looked at and compared with his numbers, and they said, "Bro, fuck us."
You are a black king. I am a black king.
Yeah.
As black kings, we will endure and experience a duress that these white men will not. It is not Andy Schultz's place to say to anybody what Joe should be asking for or shouldn't be asking for, because Joe's plight as a black man is something you'll never be able to fathom. You watched me go to work and give my all at Complex for $20,000 a month.
Yeah, you're trying to get killed. I get it.
I'm just saying, don't talk to me about money. You seen what I did with 20 grand a month.
I know.
So listen to this, because we on the internet and people are stupid. Just listen to this. Even if it's false, because it is, listen to the conversation now. Yo, did Joe ask for $250? What? Fam, I was an underground rapper. I never even imagined a conversation where I could ask for $250. I got to be so mature that my decisions are going to affect bum niggas like Troy Ave. But it's okay. I still got to get it popping. Because what if he gets something popping? It don't matter if we don't like each other. If he gets something popping, guess what? He should get paid. He won't, so he won't. But everybody after Joe got to be able to get it.
Hold on, yo, Joe. And this is a super personal conversation that.
No, it ain't. I ain't said nothing.
No, hold on. Wait, no. What I'm gonna say. That for the people who are watching, you're privy to. I will say this. and it's backing up what you said. And I always say, like, people ask, like, hey, why did you stay at Complex? Blah, blah, blah. What Joe did fight for, I ended up being a beneficial and a recipient of that. I get a percentage of all gross receipts when it comes to everyday struggle.
Wayno got a job at Pickup Girl. Like, fam, nothing changes if nothing changes.
Yeah, but hold on. So then I ask you, I'm like, yo, is it worth it if you're the sacrificial lamb and you're being like, because I tell people, I'm like, yo, I don't know. I said, maybe Joe would have got the same thing if he was patient.
Listen, I went in the office in there, and now we just telling all the business, but I went in the office, I went in Cornell's office toward the end and said, Cornell, I ain't gonna hold you. I need $1 million. I do need $1 million. I know what y'all are generating. I know what we're doing. I see what it's doing for the brand. I need $1 million. And Cornell, God bless his soul, he's not there anymore at Complex. God bless his soul. Cornell said to me, no, I fuck with Cornell. I do. But at the time, under orders from Rich Antonelli or whoever else, Cornell said to me, but Joe, if we give you $1 million, you will be making more money than the fucking boss up here. You'll be making more than Rich, Joe. And know what I said? So? Yo, what the fuck do I care? Why are you telling me that? Hey, Drake makes more than fucking Sylvia Rone, I'm sure.
He probably makes more than Lucian.
Yeah, nobody's batting an eye at Drake. Know why? Because he's doing what he got to do. If Cornell was telling me that in this infrastructure, as currently constituted, I can't get to $1 million, well, then you're showing me the ceiling above my head. I got to go.
Let me ask you a question. Yo, we did Everyday Struggle for 9 months.
And I went and got that $1 million. See, that's the part niggas don't never talk about when they say Joe go crazy. They don't say, yo, Joe go crazy, but he always keep going up.
Nah, Joe, I ain't gonna lie to you. Oh, hold on. A lot of people hit me because I had a lot of conversation. They said, Joe is capping by that $1 million. They said, Joe didn't go get $1 million from there and $1 million from there. Because I was saying that. I was like, yo, I asked a couple people, I said, am I underestimating my worth?
Yeah.
Because if Joe said he got $1 million.
Yes, you fucking imbecile. What do you think I've been trying to tell you niggas for years? Yes, I left that building and went and got with Puff and got an M. I went and got with Mona. I got an M. I went and got my pull-up shit. I got a couple M's. I went to Spotify. I got a couple M's. I'm up already, nigga. What are y'all doing out there? Charlamagne he shouldn't be able to speak to me. I'm not trying to be funny because I love him and we got a deal. We're not going to talk about each other. But what I'm saying is don't condition the people to think that Joe don't know what he's saying. When Joe kind of goes to work 2 days a week.
Yeah, I'm being honest with you. I had so many conversations. Like people like, yo, we see what's being given to these people in these places. Joe is not being honest. Because I'm telling you, it felt like I was undervaluing myself. Nigga, I talked to my lawyer. I said, listen, am I lowballing you in when you need to go ask for money for me? Because, like, I be chilling, I be doing my thing. And also, I do feel like, you know what I mean? Like, because of, like, the empire I've kind of built, I'm like, I'm so, like, happy already. I'm like, what? It could be more. And I'm like, yo, Joe said he got $1 million from what? And what? And then people told me, relax. Joe is just doing propaganda. He's doing the Joe shit. He's getting people.
No. Hey, you'll interview Puff one day and you talk to him. You'll interview Mona one day and you'll talk to her. You'll see the cash out.
I heard big fucking cap on Love and Hip Hop. They said Love and Hip Hop will not and never give Joe Budden. And I was like, because I ain't gonna lie to you, I was like, yo, I got a couple stories to tell. Yo, you see that girl who be talking shit about all type of rappers and shit? I'm like,
that's your girl. That's your people, right? That's your ex.
Don't say, you're messy.
No, you don't have no ties to that girl?
Hey, if Mona hits us up for $1 million, we have been in a very intimate relationship for the last 10 years. Okay? I'm just saying. So when I heard those numbers, I'm like, yo, either Joe is like, like, because one thing I'm gonna get, and this is just me giving you credit here. I look at all the top creators and broadcasters. You know what I give you credit for the best? And I've always said, it even goes back to even what Nadesk always says about you. You're good at like a narrative, whether true or not. And it's like, Joe's a great orator. You're a better orator than me, way better than me, Charlemagne, anybody. And I thought about it, and I said, it makes sense. This guy has been dealing with putting words together in a certain way for all his life. Me and Charlemagne, we just been talking shit. He had to do it in rhymes, in battle rap. He had to, like, you have, because I'm listening to you on all these rants, and certain shit you say, I'm like, this nigga's good. This nigga's good. Look at you.
I'm not bad. I'm just not bad, man. Listen, I would love to come to work and just joke around and just, but every now and then you gotta get in that bag. That was important for the podcasters and the creators that's coming after me.
What do you think you're worth?
I can't tell you.
On the open market, forget about even a podcast. Somebody wants Joe Budden to do, I don't know, maybe another show with me. Somebody wants you to just have a nightly show. How do you establish your worth?
You won't let me get you some money. You won't let me get you some money. Hey,
Joe, you gonna burn every bridge I got?
Another show with me and you? Oh,
you gonna burn every bridge?
Man, hey, I'm going to see Larry Jackson soon, man. Come on, let me go talk to him. Let me go get us some money, man. We could do it.
Joe, talk to me. No, yo, here's the thing though. Joe, the way you kind of move though is a little unorthodox. Joe, you're running through with a flamethrower.
Always.
You're not playing it. Hold on. Also, this is where I also had issue, and that might have just been a personal thing, right, with you and Charlemagne. But Joe, you do know that, like, if somebody offers you right now $50 million for the Joe Budden Network, right, 50% ownership, it's a joint venture, and they're gonna fund it, $50 million. All you have to do is use your power, influence, whatever, sign people, and blah blah, and also hire staff to kind of operate and do whatever. You would not say that's a L. I don't think you would. So when I saw you criticize Charlemagne's deal or whatever, I was like, I think Joe might be too. Go ahead. You might be too personal with it. Go ahead.
Again, I want to make myself clear that I support whatever he's doing and his plan. I have to say that because I don't know who's here, I don't know who's listening, I don't know who's watching. My question that I needed other creators to ponder was, if it's 50% his, then go try to sell 50%. Go to Amazon and see what they'll offer you for your 50%. If it's truly 50%, go to Apple and see if they'll give you $100 million for your 50%. That's all. There's nothing wrong with his deal. Again, Charlemagne's a multimillionaire, man. If you want to do it that way, you do it that way. My way is not for everybody. It's not. I don't advise people. When people say, Joe, give me some advice on podcasting, I don't know what to tell them because I'm a maniac. I would never advise somebody to do the stuff that I'm doing. But it works for Joe. It works for Joe. Hey, my phone has not stopped ringing since that Spotify rant. Know what everybody keeps saying? We hate them niggas too. Like, all you gotta do is speak. All you gotta do is speak, and you're gonna run into some like-minded people.
Hold on. Two things I want to say to you. Listen, I ain't gonna listen. This is the difference between when you sit and you talk to Rory and the other dude. They just ad-lib whatever you say. They don't they're not really. Hey, listen, Joe, you're capping if you tell me that your conversations you were having was not interrupted by some of the bullshit that you saw that was circulating on Shade Room and other places that was trying to
Academics
recast you as a woman beater, as a
on
dog
my
jerk
child's life,
offer, and also
on
as
my
some other
son's,
delinquent.
on both of my kids' life, on my dead grandparents' life, on my parents' life, on my life. No one stopped calling. I can assure you.
It didn't. Hold on. You didn't. Okay, maybe not stop calling, but they didn't call Ian and said, Ian, listen, we're having second thoughts. Hey, what's going on here? Because you're talking money that when companies are putting in, they're forecasting.
Projected,
And if that forecast could be fucked up, they don't want to forecast. There's some good shit.
I'm glad you brought that up, actually. Because my response to some of this shit be, yo, I've been vetted by different police precincts. I've been vetted by different courts. I've been vetted by different Fortune 500 and Fortune 100 companies. Like, none of this stuff would be happening if I were out abusing and jerking my dogs off. Like, be real clear. See, a lot of people are stupid, so they don't do this much thinking. Mona and all her insurance liability and Viacom and all of their insurance liability, and they would never put Joe in the same set as a woman that I've been beating up. You know how many people go down for that? It was 2 companies that called and said, yo, are y'all all right? We see what's going on. And I said, we all right. Ian said, we all right. And they said, okay, as long as you're all right. That's
full transparency.
That's the
full
other thing about business, Act. When you're doing the thing, when you're doing the damn thing, it'll be acknowledged.
Hold on. Well, I'll give you full transparency.
Troy Ave, you see us talking about business? We're talking business, you fucking bum.
This guy Joe.
What the
man.
fuck is going on with these bums?
Joe, in full
transparency.
Business? Full transparency. So again, I was never into the podcast shit, blah blah blah. I love what you're doing. I think you're really educated. You've educated me on the business side of things. Shit, you brought my attention to focusing on what's going on. Call her daddy, and also like Barstools, very privy, whatever. New perspective. Also, my audience is a little bit more receptive, right? I tell my lawyer, who teams up with the agent from UTA, go pitch what an Akademiks podcast could be garnering without me ever doing a podcast.
Mistake number
In some
one.
of the conversations I was having, I'll give you the timeline. It was the same week that the Freddie Gibbs, also Chrissy Teigen thing happened. I can tell you because, again, I always tell to my audience specifically, I'm not a liar. 2 whole networks pulled out. So I know that
you bugged the fuck out.
Okay. All right. Okay. I get you. But what I'm trying to say to you is that these organizations, a lot of times who are down to engage in business with you, they want the number. They want the 400 million people who search Joe Budden. They're not signing up for the allegations. They're not signing up for some of the shit that people say you have done, or some of the people who are going to come out against you. And it really takes. You remember when Tiger Woods went through all this shit? Yo, it took balls for Nike to stand with him. So I'm just telling you on a realistic. And by the way, the people who dropped out is great because I'm kind of controversial. If those things spooked you, we shouldn't be doing business at all. So it's a blessing to discuss. But that's what I'm calling cap with you, because where you're saying a smear campaign, these weren't even okay. Cool. I said some very, you could maybe term it as misogynistic. You could term it as just hateful. You could whatever you want to, in terms with Chrissy Teigen. Cool. They're in the smear campaign. Let's call it. They're angling and trying to position you as someone who is abusive, has an habitual record of abusing women, not caring about certain shit. They're trying to paint you as a drug addict. If companies are saying and thinking about giving you 8 figures, that's going to be thought of. If you say that's not true, you're not being honest with me. I'm not saying they're pulling out, but there's going to be serious concerns.
There's going to be serious concern, academics, if there was a chance that this stuff could come out and be true.
Okay.
Like, Joe has gone to court like 2 times already for years and faced all of this stuff. I've been acquitted. It's been dismissed. I've been vetted. I've been investigated. Like, it's documented. So, nah. If a company is trying to pull away from me for old media stuff, like if you're saying Joe is an abuser, you're saying that because you believed something that someone said to press, to the media. Not because Joe is a threat, not because there's this long line of women present day that are saying, hey. That's one. 2, the part you're missing is y'all were shopping an unproven commodity. So the companies didn't know what that was worth or how much money the Akademiks podcast could bring them. If the Akademiks podcast had already got them $100 million, they might stand by you like Nike did Tiger.
Okay.
Because, yeah, we see what the internet is saying, but what we also see is Joe went somewhere and that company went public, and what started as 1% of the market ballooned to 10% of the market. We need more than internet rumors to distance ourselves.